Hi guys, I'm Asantha Bryant, and today I am going to be bringing you another raw food recipe. Okay, so it's been a while since I brought you the last raw food recipe, and that's largely in part to just being busy. It's amazing how life changes and the things that you go through. But I'm going to tell you the best thing is that you can always adjust and make it the best. Okay, so today I'm going to bring you my raw teriyaki stir fry. So actually I'm going to call it a raw fry. And so I want to show you how to bring this recipe from the fridge to the table in less than 10 minutes. Okay, so for this recipe, I am going to use brass liquid aminos, and this is for my wet ingredients, guys. Sesame oil, and I'm using a spicy sesame oil. Organic maple syrup. You can use agave nectar, which is what some people do. Also, I'm going to be using onion powder, cayenne pepper, garlic, and ginger. And let me not forget lemons. Alright, so that is for my wet ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and make my wet ingredients really quick. Okay, so for that, I will need half a cup of brass liquid aminos. Just going to pour that out really quickly. And the good thing about this sauce that I'm making, you can use it for more than one of these dishes. I usually use it for about maybe 3, depending how much I put on my food. And so I use half a cup of brass liquid amino. I'm also going to mix half a cup of the spicy sesame oil. And then you'll need 1/4 cup of maple syrup. And I'm going to guesstimate that because I forgot to bring the measuring spoon. So you'll need 1/4 cup of the maple syrup or the agave nectar, whichever you choose to use. Next thing I'm going to do is take my garlic and I'm going to put it through the garlic press. I'm going to squeeze that into my sauce. So you'll just rake that into the sauce. And you don't have to use 2 cloves of garlic. Really, 1 is enough. I just tend to overdo it sometimes. So that was 1. And now I'm going to press another one. Put that back in the bowl. This is the second one that I'm pressing, the second clove. Alright, so that goes in there. Next thing I'm going to take is like my small grater. I'm going to grate some ginger into there. So I'm going to say maybe less than a pinky size of the ginger you need to grate into there. The next thing I am going to do is use 2 tablespoons of onion powder. So you want to take that, measure that out. Whoa. All right, so after you add the onion powder, the next thing you want to do is add the lemon. So you need about 3 tablespoons of lemon. So I'm actually going to hold it over here. So I usually fresh squeeze mine. I do have a juicer. You can use that too. Sometimes at the beginning of the week I'll juice a couple of lemons, and just use that lemon juice throughout the week. So that's 1 tablespoon, and I need 3 tablespoons of it. And so usually about 1/2 makes a tablespoon. As you can see, this half is making a little more juice, which is great. So I'm going to dump that in, and now I need 1 more of that. All right, and then there's my sauce. I'm going to take it and mix it. All right, so for my other ingredients, which is what I'm going to be eating, the sauce, eating with the sauce on it, you're going to need mushrooms, as many as you like. I don't even want to tell you a cup or whatever, as many as you like. 1 carrot chopped up, some broccoli, and some, how could I forget that? Some, it slipped my mind. Some cabbage, okay? So I'm going to take that and dump that into my food processor. All of that into my food processor. All right, but I'm not going to turn on my food processor yet because I want to go ahead and kind of marinate my mushrooms a little bit. So for that, I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of the sauce onto my mushrooms. And I'll just massage that. And that's going to sit while I'm doing the rest. All right, so really mixing that sauce was the longest part of that recipe. The next thing I'm going to do after I put the sauce on my mushrooms is that I'm going to spiralize some zucchini. And you can use half a zucchini to a whole zucchini. I kind of like to use half of a zucchini. So I spiralized that. I usually have a little left over in this electric spiralizer. See how it's just coming out on my plate? All right, so that right there is really good enough for me. So after I spiralize the zucchini, I take about, I'm going to say this is maybe 2 cups of greens. You can take more if you like, less if you like. It's kind of up to you. When it comes to these raw vegetables, you can put as much as you like. I mix those 2 in together. Let me just straighten up just a little bit. All right, straighten up just a little bit. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, remember I threw my stuff into the food processor, my cabbage, carrots, and broccoli. I am going to allow my, so I'm going to turn this on and allow it to go for about less than a minute, I'm going to say. And really you just want to pulse it. You don't want it to get like too so that's good enough. I don't want my vegetables chopped up too much. Just enough, if you can kind of see that. I don't know if you can see that. Just enough to where they're still kind of coarse. I'm going to take that, I'm going to dump that on top. So this is how it's looking so far. The next thing I'm going to do is, remember the mushrooms I added the sauce to? I'm going to put that on top. Whoa. And I actually had this dish to put it into it, but I think the plate is just fine because this is usually about the amount I would eat in one setting. All right, so this is pretty much done. Now remember I made my sauce earlier? You want to mix that well. So with my sauce, I already marinated the mushrooms. I'm going to go back. I can add, and I usually do, add about another tablespoon. Well, I'm going to say 2 tablespoons of the sauce. And you just mix that in well. You mix that in well. And maybe you want more sauce. It's up to you. And I still have some left over. See how I said I can do 2 to 3 servings of these vegetables with this sauce on top? And that's what you want. And so voila, I'm done. I've made my dish. Straighten up a little. So only one more thing I want to add. And you can omit this if you want because I just like more spice. I'm going to add a little red pepper right on the top of there. And voila, you have it in less than 10 minutes. So I'm going to quickly go back through what I used. For my sauce, I used brass liquid amino, half a cup. I used hot sesame oil, half a cup. I used organic maple syrup, 1/4 cup. I used 2 tablespoons of onion and garlic. I used 2 fresh cloves. Remember, I pressed them through. And then I grated about a pinky size of ginger. And I also added lemon, about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice to my sauce. And then I spiralized my zucchini. I marinated my mushrooms with the sauce while I kind of put the carrots, the broccoli, and the cabbage in my food processor. I mixed that all up and set it on lettuce. So voila, there you have it. And so you can see, it did not even take me a full 10 minutes to make that. And it's so good. So, with all the New Year's resolutions coming up, make a plan. Write it down that you want to eat healthier. That's what I did. I wrote down that I wanted to eat raw food, 95%. That was probably over 5-6 years ago. I found that goal written down, and I totally forgot I even wrote that goal. So that's what I'm going to tell you going into the new year. Make a plan. Life does get busy. Learn how to adjust. Learn how to make healthy meals, and go for it. Go for it and stick with it. You're going to see good results. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. And who knows, maybe you'll inspire someone else. So I hope this video taught you something. If you would change anything, let me know. If you would add anything, take anything away, like I said, change it, let me know. Until next time, have a great taste.